live. Hello, it is Al, and I am here with Matt.
Hello.
Hello. And yeah, welcome to CHEBS, which is a pair of tits chatting hobby, endless bollocks and stuff. And there's a lot of bollocks to go over. We haven't done one of these for a little while because I've been ill.
Can you rephrase that? It sounds like a very bad bed.
What, a lot of bollocks to go over?
Yeah.
Yeah, with a fine-tooth comb.
At AJ Bell, we're all about making investing easy.
Scratchy.
So easy, you can open an award-winning ISA in under 15 minutes. Even this chap can do it with his teeny tiny arms. AJ Bell, feel good investing.
What, a lot of bollocks to go over?
Yeah.
Yeah, with a fine-tooth comb. Keep an eye on you,
At AJ
YouTube.
Bell, we're all about making
Putting ads into my bloody
Scratchy.
streams. That's not what I suggested at all when I uploaded this.
Dubious.
Dubious. Oh man, they're a nightmare. Like, now that we're monetized, I've been going into like the monetized part of it and kind of looking at the various with a fine-tooth comb, things that you can do. So I've been going into it and sort of you can choose where to put ads, and I'm like, okay, if I'm doing like a decent length video, you can chuck an ad in the middle. But please to God, don't do what I've seen some of the other channels doing. I was on it was a Japanese, learn Japanese because I'm going back to Japan in May, and I want to learn more than I had last time I went. And there was an advert every 2.5 minutes. And I was like, what the actual fuck? Seriously?
That's brutal.
Absolutely mental. Every 2.5 minutes, an advert. I was just like, no. So when I upload things onto our channel, I can choose where the adverts go. And I'm like, okay, you can put one. You can put one in the middle of the video, and that's it. And if our viewers have ad block, or if they skip it or whatever, makes no difference to me. I'll just put one in the middle of the video. But I don't want one every 2.5 minutes. That's just absolute bullshit. I wouldn't like that as a viewer, so I don't expect to put it across as a channel owner.
Exactly.
And there's so much stuff you've got to sign off on as a YouTube party member. Like, I've got to say exactly what's in the video, what swear words are used, all that kind of stuff. And it's like, yeah, you can use racial slurs like the hard N word. It's like, it actually puts it in there, and it just goes, that's fine. You just might be slightly less eligible for advertising. I'm like, well, obviously I don't plan on doing that, but like, seriously? It's like, weird, man, weird. Anyway, I'll keep an eye on that because I am watching the stream live at the same time to make sure everything's working well. And at the end of the day, if there is adverts every 5 minutes, then I'm just going to have to go in and cancel it. Hopefully it's just one at the start of the stream, and it'll kind of do one maybe at the end of the stream or something. I don't want it cutting away. Who would want to miss out on our dulcet tones for any more than like 1 second? You know what I mean? It's just, you just wouldn't want that at all. So, we've got quite a lot to discuss today. We're going to talk about the GW versus GHAMAK situation. We're going to talk about female Space Marine heads. And we're going to talk about any other new stuff that's happened, including the Battle Force Christmas boxes. And we'll cover the Age of Sigmar ones that I didn't cover in my video. But before we get into that, let's have a general catch-up. How have you been doing, dude? Any hobby going on? I know you've been playing Battlefield 6, so that's probably had a bit of an impact.
Yeah, on my mental health. But yeah, Battlefield's it's one of those series of games where you either have like an awesome game with your friends, or you just have shittest game by yourself. Over the last 2 days, I've had several of both. So yeah, especially when my daughter decides to come and sit with me. Like, she sits on like my stack of like model cases and stuff in my backpack next to me, and she's sitting there going, oh, there's a dude over there. Oh, that guy killed you. Oh, there's some people over there. Oh, you're losing me. Oh, you should do this. Why didn't you use that gun? And I'm just like, can you shut up? Can you please be quiet for 5 minutes?
That's just the worst.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I like that she's interested, and I like her kind of being involved. But like yesterday, I just said to her, can I have 5 minutes of silence out of you, please? She looked at me and just got up and left.
Just like Pantera, 5 minutes alone.
Yeah. And I was kind of like,
please just give us.
Yeah. I was kind of like, I expected some pushback on that. I didn't expect you to just get up and leave. But then she just went to her room and sat at her desk and did her own thing. And I was like, oh, she doesn't seem upset, but fair enough. And then today she said, and I didn't say that to her this time. Okay. But yeah, she got a few shushes. Just shush.
Yeah,
when I'm getting mown down by people from the other side of the map who shouldn't be able to kill me.
No, it's bad enough when you've got your own internal dialogue, so your own internal monologue telling you that you suck after dying for the 50th time without a small child also telling you at the same time.
With all the swearing.
Yeah, that's it. Please leave, daughter. I don't want you to see Daddy cry.
Yeah, you don't want to see what happens to a screen when you put like a phone through it or something like that. But no, I don't break hardware as a rule. Given that I work in IT, I tend to respect it a fair bit.
Yes. I mean, I've learned that lesson, and the thing is, like, controllers are really expensive these days.
I was about to say, yeah, it's an expensive lesson as well.
It's not like the old days when you broke a controller. It's like, 20 quid. I'll get a new one. Like these things are really, really pricey. So,
yeah, not so much.
Yeah. Okay, that's cool. That sounds all right.
Yeah,
no hobby though. You put together a Fellblade, didn't you?
Yeah. My Fellblade turned up, so I put that together. That's up in the loft, primed.
Apparently, they're surprisingly easy to assemble.
Yeah, it was good. Off the top of my head, I think I said it was like a cross between like the Predator kit and, well, it's just kind of like a bigger Predator, really. So it doesn't have any of the fiddliness of like the Spartan, and it's just really good to put together. Like, you just do 2 bits of one half track, 2 bits of the other half side, like the other side track. Glue them onto the base. On goes the front. On goes the top. Main chassis done. So it's not too different from like the some of the.
I guess because it hasn't got to have any opening doors or anything like Land Raiders. It's actually quite a straightforward assembly.
Well, the 30k Land
Raiders don't have any variants as the Baneblade either, does it? So it's simpler than that as well.
No, but the 30k Land Raiders don't have any opening doors either.
Do they not?
Nope. There's no mechanism for it.
A Spartan, but
there's no mechanism for it. Like, unlike the 40k one, which is a shame. That was the only step down, and I was kind of like, really. But then one of the things doesn't even have one of the variants doesn't even have an open front.
Capacity,
so
yeah, makes sense, I guess. I will get a Fellblade eventually.
So I chucked together all my epic whirlwinds and stuff, my whirlwinds on my Scorpius.
Cool.
And I also had a box of Typhons and Cerberus boxes.
Mm-hmm.
So got those, and they've all been primed and everything as well. I started putting together some full-size 30k Marines as well, and they all got primed. Some ridiculous Saturnine Dreadnought. The speeder that we got from Warhammer World the other week.
Oh yeah.
That's all primed now. So I spent a big chunk of Saturday, when I wasn't parenting, because I was parenting yesterday instead. I kept alternating between Battlefield 6, and then when I'd had enough of that, I went back to trying to rediscover my 30k mixture for paint.
Gotcha.
Because it's like a mix of Vallejo candy black, metallic black, and just Vallejo black.
Yeah. Finding a good black is important. So if you've got a recipe, it's important. So why didn't you write it down? Because
I'm stupid. But like I don't like a flat black, because it looks too boring, and you've got to try and dry brush it and highlight it and stuff. And I'm like, I can't be fucked. So I figured a black with a metallic sheen will show up, recesses and edges and corners and stuff just by itself. So I think I found it again. So I think I'm good to go. I was supposed to airbrush stuff today, but I was too busy working.
Stupid work
from home.
Stupid.
So
Battlefield 6 type work.
Only on my lunch break.
I'll grab it next week. But where I've been ill, I want to get some videos done. I don't want the content to drop off too much. I want to make sure I'm actually making some videos. So, but I will grab it next week, because I want to play it and use my weird hybrid control system where I use a controller and a mouse at the same time, because I'm strange. So for me, I mean, I've not done any hobby. I did manage to reset my 3D printer, clean out the FEP and all that kind of stuff, because I'm going to do a video on 3D printing.
Oh, nice.
So that's all done, but I haven't been onto Chitubox to make a plate yet. I've been pretty much dead most days. Managed to stream the other day, done some reading. Went to a cool gig in Manchester. That was
What
Testament.
Who did you see there?
It was Testament. It was called the Thrash of the Titans.
Oh, this one. Yeah, go on.
It's Testament, Destruction, Nervosa, and that well-known thrash band Obituary.
Fantastic. For those who are unaware, Obituary are very, very much old school death metal, not thrash metal in the slightest. I mean, very much the odd one out.
As far away from thrash as you can possibly get. But
it
was a mighty fine time at the Manchester Academy. Very good. Yeah, a lot of fun. Great venue, not too difficult to get to and all that kind of stuff. So that was pretty good. And other than that, I've just been playing the living crap out of Gundam Breaker on my Switch in bed, being a sad little weeb and just playing with giant robots, which is just, yay!
All children love giant robots.
You can just replay missions at higher difficulties and try and farm parts and stuff like that. So that and Tacticus has been keeping me busy and plotting out bits and doing some doing a little bit of writing for my novel that I hope to publish later in the year.
Good.
It's getting there. It's getting there. We're at about sort of 15, 20,000 words. It's not going to be huge. It's a bunch of short stories, all that's going to tie into one narrative, just for my first one, and then we'll go from there, see what happens. But shall we start talking about GW stuff?
Yeah, go on.
Right, okay. So, I just got to try and find the right capture. There we go. So we'll start off on these heads because, oh man, these heads have been contentious to say the least.
Oh, the Asian heads. Yes, go ahead. Go ahead.
Because it's a little bit weird, isn't it? Because we've seen Space Marine heads before this. We saw the really cool Forge World heads, which look really, really nice. I think they're excellent examples of what can be done, actually making Space Marine heads look like Space Marines. Do you know what I mean?
Yep.
Nothing really to say about them I didn't like. I'm just going to get a nice big picture here. Here we go. These are maybe not so like that, being kind, but some of them are quite nice. But they are very much of that kind of 40k heavy metal styling where it's lots of very high cheekbones, pronounced shading. They're not painted in the Forge World style. They're painted in the heavy metal style, which I always feel is a little bit of a it's a little bit of a double-edged sword, because what it does is it gives you the ability to see all the details and everything, but they never look as good as they do when you see them in real life. So when you go and see these in the cabinet, they won't look like this.
They look better.
They look better. They look a lot better. I don't know how to describe it. They just don't. They don't come across always very good in photos, is what I would say. When you go see them in real life, in the flesh, as it were, then they look way better, or in the resin, because they're normally 3D prints that they've painted. So we've got a few here that are a little bit suspect. Certainly the second one down on the left, a little bit Karen-like, a little bit Karen-like.
Bit of a Sinead O'Connor.
A little bit of a Sinead O'Connor going on there, yeah. I also think second from the right on the top is, it's ma'am. I can't see that as a bloke. And there's a few other ones that are suspect. Top left, one in also looks a little bit sus. But I mean, part of it I think is just bad sculpting. Part of it, I think, is just the way it's been painted. I'm not sure if they've gone necessarily all out feminine. Have they maybe gone like, oh, this could be a female Space Marine if you wanted to use it as one? Maybe. But do I want any of this? No, because I can print heads for pretty much like 1 pence each on my 3D printer. So, it's a moot point. But yeah, I mean, I hadn't got your take on it, Matt, so I just wonder what you thought about this. I mean, I will say I hate the fact that you've got Terminator helmets without the Terminator helmets. It's so fucking stupid. It's bad enough having visible heads on tactical armor, let alone Terminator armor.
The Terminator head I will give a pass to, because one of my favourite Terminator, probably due to my starting point in the game, in the whole hobby, where I've got like first edition Space Hulk and then Deathwing and then Gene Stealer expansions for it, was the Deathwing Terminator Captain, and he had like the classic flat top and like a respirator, and he looked cool. So the respirator guy, I'm like, you know what? It's a modern version of that. I'm okay with it, and a little bit of it kind of makes me go, oh, Mark 5, eh?
Yeah, I mean,
because it's got like the bulldoggy bits.
The respirator one's not too bad. I can kind of see that, but these ones where like these two lads down in the top bottom left here that have like taken off, they've just got this weird little neck brace. I'm like, no, that's just not so much. Yeah, but I did like the fact they put Mark 7 in it. 4 Mark 7 helmets. Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah, Mark 7 was a nice surprise. I was like, oh, okay. That's a bit of a nod to the oldish school. So that's all good. But my take on these is they never look as good in pictures as they do when you actually go to Warhammer World and like you see them in the cabinet and you see stuff.
Correct. Yeah.
And GW's design studio have never been, well, in recent years, never been great at doing faces. All you need to do is look at the Forge World ones, and then you look at these, and you're just like, oh, these ones are kind of done for children.
Yes, yeah, very much so.
And then the Forge World ones are done for grown-ups. But I suspect with some of these, the sculptor was a little bit like, this sort of looks Asian-y enough to maybe be a dude, but in case people want to do their slightly deviant Marines in, you know, whichever idiom they want and fancy colors, then we'll put in a few that are not entirely masculine.
yes, exactly.
Have those. Yeah. That's my diplomatic response. Do I want them? No, but they're not aimed at me anyway because I don't really do 40k anymore. So,
and you were talking about the Forge World head. Let's just bring those up for comparison. These are 15 plus because these are for adults, like you said. I mean, if we look at all of those, there's not one head there, in my opinion, that looks feminine. Not one. And yet you've got Asian, you've got Asian characteristics on these models. I love the chap with the mutton chops and the moustache. Just absolutely magnificent.
That's it. Yeah, I'm quite surprised they made him quite so tanned. Otherwise, he looks like he should be.
I don't want to, sort of get down the racial, but of all the facial structure, or facial hair, sort of ensembles, I would not expect a black chap to have. That is probably. I don't think I've ever seen a black dude with mutton chops. I might have, but I don't think.
No,
I don't think I have. So But yeah, I think these are a lot better.
Those Marine heads done properly.
Yes, I do think these are a lot better. And the painting isn't even as good. I mean, these are very basic painted faces. But because of the skill of the sculptors here, they lend themselves to those techniques so much easier. I mean, even just looking here, the difference is night and day between them, isn't it? It really is. So yeah, I just wanted to bring that up because like people were, it's just Asian. I was like, I'm not saying they're definitely not, but I'm just saying that you can certainly have Asian and masculine at the same time because the Asian face it's smoother, it's slightly more. I don't want to say feminine necessarily, but Asian people tend to look younger and stuff like that. I think I put a picture of Daniel Day Kim up, who's like Korean, I think. And, there is a difference to the face. There's not the same as Caucasian faces. It's not the same as Afro-American or Caribbean faces. There is differences. And it is nice that GW are putting those in there, like the flared nostrils and the facial structures that's different of different races, rather than just blackwashing a Caucasian face. I like that. I think that's a cool thing. But these, the whole female Space Marines thing, that just it will not go away. It will not die.
It will not die.
Although GW have confirmed that these are all male heads.
In passing, they did, yes.
As much as we're going to get out of it, they're not going to come out and say, they're not going to come out and say, no, you're never getting female Space Marines. These are your Space Marine heads, and they're all male. Get used to it, losers. They're not going to come out and say that. It's just not going to happen. But they have confirmed, in as much as they do, that they are, all meant to be male heads. Whatever you think about them, and whatever you think the testosterone levels of the individuals concerned. But I mean, I prefer the Forge World ones all round.
I mean, to be fair, they're Marines, so I would imagine the testosterone levels are off the charts for all of them.
They should be. Yeah. Absolutely. But yeah, looking at, there's just no comparison. As I say, I do 3D printed ones anyway because I've got a 3D printer. But I don't rate these, and I don't think we need them. We've had a few people join us. USA Libertarian, hello. Gavin Adams, hello. Most of the eyes look a bit wonky on them, even the male-looking ones. You are absolutely right. There's something. They almost look like they've had strokes, don't they? The plastic ones. Let's just get rid of the good ones for a second. A lot of them have got a very lopsided face. It's very weird. It's like on the top here, the one next to the Keith David looking dude, has got like a lopsided jaw. One of them looks like Rosie O'Donnell.
Yeah. Some of them look like someone's trying to give him a stroke. They're like, no, get off. Too angry.
Yeah, as I say, I'll bring up the Forge World ones again. I don't really think there's much.
Keith David.
You see, this one I'm in the top right here, the Forge World ones, the tanned fellow, reminds me of the Rick Mayall character from the Bombardier adverts, beer adverts. Do you remember those? You just paint with blonde hair and like a lighter skin tone. You've got that guy. But yeah, I mean, I think this might just be a case of Forge World is just better than the CAD work.
The usual
is done by GW here. As I say, these probably look better in the flesh, these plastic ones. But overall, I don't think anybody was particularly impressed with them. Certainly, I was just like,
well, apart from people who want fairly androgynous space marines, I bet they were well impressed with them.
Well, yeah, absolutely. There were certain people who were very pleased, I imagine. But yeah, I'm not really. You get loads of heads on the sprues anyway. There's a few there that are cool, but would I buy it? No, just no, not that one, not that one at all. So that was one thing that happened, and we were like, yeah, we don't really want that, thanks. But you know, it's like Bart Simpson, isn't it? The cake. It's like, well, at least you tried. So we'll get rid of that. And we're going to look at the Battle Force boxes. Now, I have done a video about this, breaking down the savings and also comparing them to the combat patrols, if you want to check that out and have a look. But we're just going to get Matt's take on this, and then we're going to have a look at the Age of Sigmar ones. Now, Matt, I was actually quite surprised that they didn't announce any Horus Heresy Christmas boxes. I would have loved to have seen a Space Marine one, a Mechanicum one, and a Solar Auxilia.
Well, yeah, but then they kind of did like the combat force ones already. I suppose they can only produce so much stuff.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, and I do get the feeling that these are primarily made out of things that didn't sell so well, and all of the Horus Heresy is selling well. So maybe they just thought they didn't need to. Now, I don't mean to suggest for one second that Fulgrim's not selling well.
That's a nice box.
He absolutely is. It's not a nice box, Matt. It's rubbish.
It's nice to look at.
It's got 6 flawless blades in it, and the combat patrol's got 6 flawless blades in it. What are you going to do with 12 flawless blades?
Not by the combat patrol?
But that's what I'm saying. These should be designed to go alongside the combat patrol. As somebody who worked in retail at GW, my angle of attack, as it were, for getting somebody into the hobby would be like, okay, this is like a nice set. If you add the combat patrol onto this, you've got like everything you need for like a, I don't know, 1,500 point army. Probably not these days, but let's just say a 1,500 point army. And then all you need to do is get your paints and stuff, and you're good to go. You know what I mean? I would want to try and put these two units together, these two boxes together, to sell them as a Christmas bundle. And when you get 6 flawless blades in the combat patrol that you've also got in here, that becomes not impossible, because no one wants 12 flawless blades.
Why not?
I get the feeling that this is just, this is just, they're free for 40 quid. They haven't sold so well. They're like, put them in there, put them in there, put them in there. You say Libertarians, don't say that's a nice box to a female Space Marine.
It looks very fancy. I like it.
Well, I mean,
it's like if you need
Fulgrim,
you'll be doing fine.
But yeah, I don't think this is great. I don't think it complements the combat patrol at all. I know there's limited amount of Emperor's Children stuff, but I would have chucked 10 normal Space Marines in there instead.
They'd have been better off than Predator.
These are free for 40 quid. It's just ridiculous. They're in there because they're not selling very well, in my own opinion. But that Fulgrim is a lovely bit of kit. And obviously they've always done a Chaos Primarch plus his dudes. But I think this is the worst one that I remember seeing. The next one's your guys, the Votann. It's got 10 Chthonian Berserks in it. But aside from that, what was your thoughts on this one?
This is the first time I've played eyes on them. Hold on.
See, someone's done the homework. Not. There you go. Doesn't even watch our videos. Shocking.
It looks all right, I think. I mean, you've got like a melee element. You've got the 3 fire support guys at the back. It's been so long since I looked at the codex. I can't remember what they're called. It just annoys me.
Earthshaker. Oh, what the Thunderkin at the back?
That's the one.
Yeah.
You've got those dudes. You've got the engineer chap down the front with his little automata
Probably my favourite
iron kin
box, to be honest. I think they're quite cool.
Iron kin. You've got the not mole mortars as well. So that's pretty good. I mean, 2 of those kits are spanky new.
Yes, the Earthshakers and the Caprica, I think it's called Caprica.
Yeah.
Which I don't like any of those models, but yeah, I mean, I just don't.
Yeah, that's the one I wanted to get, and they didn't have it.
That's right.
When we went to
Warhammer World, you had to get a land speeder.
And the nice lady was very accommodating and going and looking and whatnot.
She went away. She was like, "Oh, I'm going to go see what we've got," and I don't want to fault her because there's a lot more products than there used to be, but her product knowledge was not the best. She just brought out everything that was already on the shelves. Like,
she was like, "This is all I could find right there," and I was like, "I appreciate your efforts, thank you very much."
Back in the day, that wouldn't have cut it, but as I say, there's probably like 4 times as many products as there was, so we'll let her off. I mean, I think again, this is just to get rid of the Chthonian Berserks, which are the least popular models in this army.
I know. We'll go on a battlefield. We'll take our tops off. Well done.
So stupid. This one does complement the Combat Patrol at least quite nicely, because the Combat Patrol is 5 half guard, 1 leader half guard dude, 10 kin, and 3 more of the Thunder kin dudes. So, you know.
Oh, nice.
They do at least go together nicely. If you wanted Votan, if Votan was your bag, then you wouldn't do too badly with this one. And while I'm here, I may as well just shout out the savings. Let me just bring up the spreadsheet that I made.
Oh, how efficient.
I know, right? The effort I put in for our viewers. Is it that one?
All 7 of them.
No, that one's where the bodies are hidden, not that one.
Not that one.
There we go. This one. The price if you was to get all this shit separately would be £227 or $369. Now, I expect these to be £150, and whatever that works out in American dollaroos, I don't know, $220, whatever GW decide to inflict on new chaps. But yeah, I get the feeling this is kind of we weren't selling enough Chthonian Berserks. So chuck them all in the Christmas box. Crusher Stampede. Come on, Matt. What do you think? This is crap. Come on, dude. I'm trying to get him to admit that stuff's crap. It's very difficult with Matt. He's a very sunny, glass half full kind of dude. Come on,
now that depends if I'm filling up the glass or emptying it.
I need to be mine, actually, while you chat.
Unfortunately for you, you're speaking to someone who likes their Nidzilla. So, except for that piece of shit down the front with the 2 little poos that have fallen off it, the rest of those 4 look pretty great.
Yeah, this is maybe the problem, isn't it? The sprue with the Screamer Killer comes with the Neuro Tyrant, and obviously they use that to calculate the savings.
Does it? I don't remember, but fair enough.
Yeah, it's one combined sprue. We're going to hit that again later as well, unfortunately. I don't think this works in any way. That Neuro Tyrant, in no way, from what I remember, helps the rest of that army.
Probably not, no. It's a shit unit anyway.
And then when you bolt on the Tyranid Combat Patrol to this, it gets even worse. Because do you remember what the Tyranid Combat Patrol was?
Wasn't it a bunch of Gene Stealers and a Shrike?
A Shrike? There is no Shrike.
A Winged Prime, as it's called now.
No, it's Parasite Mortrex.
That's close. That's close.
And then 3 Hive Guard and a Biovore. So even if you put those 2 together, you're not really getting much of a coherent army. I mean, I'm not a fan of Nidzilla anyway. Yeah, you get a lot of big kits that build 2 different varieties, but I don't think this is great. Again, it just seems so random, just chucked together.
It does. I love me a Maliceptor. The Screamer Killer was an odd choice. It was one of my very first Metal Tyranny models, so I have a soft spot for the actual design of the thing.
Oh, that's the whole reason it's in there, is for the nostalgia. And I love it for that reason. And I've got 2 for that reason. So
I'm looking at mine on my desk that never made it to be finished. I painted some of it, and that was it. I got bored. Let me see. You've got what, a T-Fex, which can double up as a Turvagun, if I remember right.
That's right.
And then you've got a Haruspex, which also doubles up as an Exa Cream.
Hey,
so
well
I quite like that. It's a decent box if you like your stompy monsters. If you don't like your stompy monsters, you're probably better off spending money on something else.
Yeah, and as I say, I don't think it goes well with the Combat Patrol as well. I don't think this has been... again, this just feels to me like we're just going to chuck some random models in to a box.
Yeah. It's a bit of a cynical box, but if you want monsters that cover a lot of bases, because you can build most of them 2 different ways, you can't go wrong with it.
I mean, you get some magnets, you can build them all. That's one thing I will say about the Tyranids is they're very easy to magnetize. I magnetized all of mine, and you can easily magnetize these to build both options. So that's one thing I will say for it. Okay, cool. Well, moving on. This is the one that I did rate. What's your takings on this one, Matt? Because you are the Tau player here.
Finally, some Crisis suits. Nice. Riptide, nice. Oshoba, nice. Crisis suits, nice. One broadside. Could have chucked in a second one. Like, what the fuck? But yeah, looks solid. If you want suits to build things, it will do you good.
Yeah, this... Sorry, I'm just replying to Kevin real quick. Yeah, this one I rate. I think this one's quite good. I don't know if maybe I would have lost the broadside and put another Crisis set in there. Maybe I don't know. But I think this is good. It also balances up quite well with the Combat Patrol, which is a Cold Star Commander, 10 Pathfinders, 10 Fire Warriors, and a Devilfish.
Yeah,
so
it's very nice.
This one, I rated this one quite high, to be honest. It's got that lovely new Farsight model in it. If I was to do Tau, and it's probably not going to happen, I've got enough unmounted armies, but if I was going to do Tau, this and a Combat Patrol, which is going to set you back from a discounted, like, I don't know, just shy of 200 quid, I guess, would be a decent way to go, in my opinion. So I think that's one of the better ones. And I said,
a fine starting point.
Although it's a bit weird, Matt. I said they had an opportunity to do the 8 here, didn't they? And they didn't take it.
They did, but the 8's a little bit of a
just looking at theme. I'm just looking at, because I like boxes with strong theme.
They're all painted red, so you're good.
I'm not sure that we necessarily need that here. Moving on.
If they'd have put an ethereal in there, then I'd have been a little bit like, "What the fuck is this mess?"
Yeah, there's no point. No point in that. No, I think it works fine. I think it works fine for what it is, and at least it's a Riptide, not a bloody Storm Surge. Right. Okay. Moving on to the Spectre Marines. This one is probably the most popular. It comes with a box of those heads for some reason.
The dreadnoughts are wrong, but it looks okay.
Yeah. I mean, if you accept the dreadnoughts, that's just what you get now. We didn't get awesome Castaferran ones. We've got these instead. So you've got a Redemptor Ballistus. You've got 5 Hellblasters, which is half a box. The company heroes, I think they're called. A lieutenant and a squad of Stern Guard.
Oh.
Yeah, the squad of Stern Guard. And this is how I know Matt didn't watch my video, because in my video it said lieutenant, and he would have pulled me up on it.
I would have done. I was very impressed that you said it properly this time around.
I made sure. I was like, oh my God.
You know, Stern Guard was still a thing.
Gotta get this right. Yeah, they're the ones from Leviathan.
Yeah.
They came in Leviathan. They're slowly edging back towards the old stuff, and I'm hoping it continues and we see tactical squads and things come back. We'll have to wait and see for 11th. But yeah, this is a pretty good set. There's some nice stuff there, I have to admit. If you just get past the dreadnoughts. And on top of that, the Combat Patrol, the new one, Tigurius, 3 Blade Guard, 3 Aggressors, 5 Reavers, 5 Intercessors will go on top of this nicely. And this would look pretty good. Again, sub 200 quid from a discounter, you've got a decent army. This is assuming that you can get any of these. GW are famously stingy with their allocations to third parties, wanting to hang on to all the tests themselves because they know it's going to sell out. And they want that money rather than losing the chunk that they lose from third parties. So, if you are on good terms with your third-party retailer, your friendly local game store, then I suggest you get in there early, because these are probably going to disappear. And I don't know how many. I mean, for example, when Wayland got these, they didn't. I mean, I can't talk about last year, but I think the year before that, they didn't do a saving on them. So they just sold them at recommended retail, because they got so few. So,
Damn.
you know, you usually have to wait and see. It depends on how many they've made. Chaos are up next. Now, it's well known that I don't particularly like the Chaos models, and I don't think they've done particularly what Chaos should look like, and they end up looking like Saturday villains, and that the Obliterators look like luchador fighters. But in this one, you've got the Venom Crawler and the Obliterators, which are one sprue again. It's that sprue from Spearhead. Sorry, Shadow Spear? Shadow Spear. You've then
Shadow
got...
Spire?
Shadow Spire? I thought it was Shadow Spear. Don't know, can't be asked to look it up. You've got 10 Legionnaires, which don't appear on GW's website because it's a piece of crap. 5 Havocs and a Lord Discordant and a Rhino. It's the worst.
Lord Discordant is still awesome.
This one is worst one out of any of them so far. £217, $358. I will just go through the other ones real quick. So the Space Marines was £241 or $400. The Tau was £211 or $345. Tyranids £219 or $361. And as I say, we expect to see these around about the £150 mark, whatever that works out in freedom bucks. So this one, obviously a bit less of a saving, but again, it goes with the Combat Patrol quite nicely. We rated the Combat Patrol as basic. It was 10 Cultists, 10 Legionnaires, 5 of the possessed dudes, a Master of Possession, if I remember correctly. And again, they complement each other quite well, but I don't know, it's not... It's just generic. I don't know, a Chaos just feel a little bit stupid to me. But I suppose if you want to do Chaos Space Marines, you could do worse than this. You know?
It looks like a solid box, kind of by itself, except for that shitty Daft Venom Crawler.
Yeah, well, that comes with the Obliterators, sadly, so you don't get a choice.
Innit? And that Lord Discordant is still one of my favourite Chaos models. Not that there's many of them.
It's very cool. I thought that would be the start of a Dark Mechanicum.
Yeah, you think so.
Because it's got Mechadrites everywhere.
Yeah.
But not as of yet. Yeah, I mean, your 10 Legionnaires go into the Rhino. You've got heavy support, your Havocs, and then I suppose you send the other stuff forward. The Lord Discordant's hard enough to survive on his own. As I say, you pair this with a Combat Patrol, and you've got something half decent. This is one of the better ones, but again, it's that combined sprue of the Venom Crawler and the Obliterators that just seems to just suggest a lack of effort on this one, I think. And it's just a case of like, look, this is just one sprue. We can just print them off for like a penny each, and it looks like they add value to the box set, and it probably doesn't really. And then your last one, Matt, was your Krieg. And your Krieg one comes with 2 artillery batteries, a command squad, 5 combat engineers, and 2 lots of Krieg.
I was about to say, it looks like a lot of dudes.
Yeah, strange enough, this is the lowest saving of all of them. In total, it comes out £204, £332. Sorry, $332. It goes fairly well with the Combat Patrol, which is 5 horses, 10 dudes, a heavy weapons team, and a command squad. But I don't know, with the platoon rules and everything, how the command squads can get... Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know if you can use the 2 command squads. If you can, then the 2 combat patrols work together. The 2 boxes work together well, and it's another thing you could sell as a bundle. I say again, talking from my retail years, even though that's like, Christ, 25 years ago now.
Don't do the numbers.
But this does look to be one of the better ones to me, Matt. It's got a lot of stuff in it, particularly.
It's a lot of stuff.
Chuck a couple of tanks in it, that looks half decent. So that's your 40k boxes. As I said, no idea how many you're going to get. Chris says 2 clean, 2 cartoony, 2 vibrant in colour, over immaculate. It's not.
None of them look.
None of them look like Sydney Sweeney. Alas, alas, if only.
Slaneshi Sweeney.
Slaneshi Sweeney, indeed. Yeah, I mean, when he says 2 cartoons, he's not talking about our faces here, is he? Harsh.
No, I think he's talking about the Obliterators at least.
No, I think he's talking about the models in general, to be honest.
Yeah. Yeah,
I mean, the heavy metal style is not weathering on all that kind of stuff. I much prefer the way that Forge World used to do their stuff. I've got the Forge World Masterclass books where they talk about using varnishes and enamel washes and pigment powders and all that kind of stuff. And I much prefer that look to things. For one thing, it's quicker than line highlighting absolutely everything. And I just think it looks better. I prefer that scale modelling look. But in general, GW's models have been getting more cartoony. And yeah, their colours have been... I mean, I don't want to say too vibrant, because we started out in second edition and before that, and, you know, that was primary colours-tastic. That was white undercoat. That was vibrant.
Yeah, it really was.
But there was something about that. There was a punk aesthetic to those days, a metal aesthetic that is definitely missing now. And I will be doing a video on this soon. Because I think one of the things that GW's lost most of all is not necessarily just a sense of grimdark. It's lost that irreverent punk metal feel to it. And I need to do some research and get some different pictures and stuff like that to do some comparisons. But I will be doing a video on that soon. Right, so that's those ones out of the way. So what we'll do is we will have a look at the Age of Sigmar ones real quick as well, Matt. Because, you know, we might as well. So here they are. Only 4 of those. First one is a load of Skaven. I mean, this looks to be a lot of the stuff out of Skaven Tide. So it's like half of that and then 2 lots of Storm Vermin.
Maybe this is your department.
So I guess that's okay, again, if you want an army starter. But, I mean, I would imagine that Skaven Tide halves are still going on eBay for a decent price. Like, Skaven Tide. Skaven. 80 quid for the Skaven, half of Skaven Tide.
Nice.
Which gives you, which ain't bad really, in all honesty. It really isn't that bad. Come on, where's the description? You lazy bastard. Doesn't put a description on there. It's a shop and everything. Oh, well, never mind. So yeah, I mean, that comes with at least that and some more, if I remember correctly, because there were some rat ogres and stuff in that box. So yeah, I'm not sure how well this works out as a saving if you bear in mind that you can still get that half. It's good for box art to promote. It doesn't reflect Glim Darkness at all. Yeah, that's pretty much how I feel about it, Chris, to be honest. Like, heavy metal's that thing that everybody just aspires to at the start. And it does look very clean and it looks very display-like. But it just doesn't make it feel like they're in the moment. That's the problem. I want my armies to look like they've been on campaigns and they're chipped and battered and they've got some battle honours and stuff like that I've painted on. Yeah, I don't like the fresh off the assembly line look. So yeah, I could question the Skaven one on this one. It's okay, I guess, but I'm not, especially with the Skaven half still being available. Let's have a quick look at the Spearhead for Skaven. I presume they've released one. If it's out of stock, then I'll never find it. There's only 67 options comes up when you type in Spearhead, so that's not too bad. Even if it is out of stock, it'll just be down the bottom of that lot. Yep. Yeah, there it is. So it is out of stock. So on top of what you see there, you get... right. So the Spearhead looks to be 3 of the big rat ogre... I can't remember what they were called. They came out at the end times. 1 warp fire thrower, a grey seer, 20 clan rats, from what I can tell. So, you know, that would work okay on top. But if you want to get Skaven at the moment, I would say you're better off just trying to grab yourself a Skaven Tide half until they disappear. And, of course, Skaven were also the starter set. So you'd have to have a look at see what you get in those to see if this is worth it, if you see what I'm saying. Next up is the Undead. Vampire counts. You get
where the fuck is the rest of the models
in it? 10 Blood Knights, a dragon, and 3 Fellblades. And it does genuinely look like they've forgotten to put some of the models in there.
Fellblades, Fellbats.
Oh, Fellbats. God.
One of the few AOS things I can actually correct you on.
3 Fellblades would be great. That'd be wonderful.
That's well done. I've got to say, mate, the Fellblade box is fucking massive.
It is, yeah. I saw Winters opening it. He did an opening video, and there's a lot of plastic in there. I want one. I will get one at some point. Yeah, so it looks all right, I suppose. But as you say, where's all the bloody models? Certainly, it's not something you could field on its own, I wouldn't think.
I think what GW probably should have done for this article was maybe ended with the Skaven one.
Yeah.
So you look at this one and you go, oh, there's not much there. And then you look at the next one and you go, oh, there's not much there either, but they're pretty chunky models. And you look at the Skaven one and you go, oh, dude, there's loads.
There's loads. Oh, well, no, you wait to get to the Sylvaneth one, dude. There's a load of stuff in the Sylvaneth one. So your undead thing on top of here, we'll just look at the Soul like Gravelords one. Is pretty good. You get 5 whites on horse, 20 dudes, and 10 Graveguard. It's like a lot of stuff. Oh, and the White King. That's, a good chunk on top. I really like that. Bear in mind as well that the Age of Sigmar spearheads are cheaper because you don't have to pay 40k tax. You know, which is pretty cool. I don't know if these army boxes are going to be the same. So, yeah, those two together will make something half decent. Here's your Gloomspite Gits. Now, they tend to do this every year. The last one was very squig-based. This one's very troll-based. 9 trolls plus 2 bigger trolls, I guess, is how you describe this one. I think the one in the middle is the new character one that they released for the last narrative thing that they did. Trog, the Troggoth King. I mean, it's all right, I guess, if you like those. I certainly like that more than the Tyranid one, put it that way, if you can do all big stuff.
I'd say I agree.
So
then
the Gloomspite Gits one, I think, is pretty much squig-based. At least it used to be. Let's have a look. Yeah, so it's like 3 trolls, 10 squig hoppers, and then like 20 night goblins and a little leader night goblin dude. Because I thought about getting it for Kirsty, but Kirsty doesn't get any more Warhammer until she's done what she's got.
She's been cut off.
Been cut off, yeah. And then you've got
like a municipal waste song with an amazing video.
The Sylvaneth one, which is 3
awesome.
lots of whatever the hell they are. Drykella, which is probably the last model that GW will ever make with tits.
Oh, the Wooden Dreadnought.
Yeah, the Wooden Dreadnought. A tree lord dude, and then a crap ton of branch wraiths.
Yeah, 15 Spite Revenants.
So a lot of stuff. Obviously, they're very old models now. These are from like 1st edition Age of Sigmar, Matt?
They're still great though. Yeah, they are. All of them.
Quite a lot of bang for your buck there.
Yep.
And if we look at the Spearhead, you get another Tree Lord, 3 of the Kurinoth Archers, which were models I liked in that range.
Nice. Yeah, I've got some of those.
And then I'm going to have to click on this. I can't work out what the hell they are. It's not a box of 6. It must be 2 boxes of 3. Oh, one of them's a Branch Witch. That's why. So one's a Branch Witch, and then the other 5 are Tree Revenants. So you'd get some more Tree Revenants. But yeah, I mean, again, if you were to get those two together, if you were playing Age of Sigmar, that'd be a fairly decent box, in my opinion. So that wouldn't work out too badly. Chris says, particularly annoying with factions like the Orcs, they are literally the faction to get dirty and grimy and untidy with. The box art Orcs look like a joke to me. The problem that I've had with the Orcs is they're always like these goofy comedy things, and I want the Orcs to be dangerous. I don't mind the fact that because what happened, taking you back, just back in time here. What happened with the Orcs was it used to be that they had their own language, and you would just catch snippets of a human word here and there, and it would be like beaky or oomy or something like that, as they tried to imitate human speech. It then turned into this dumbed down, stupid talk, and over time the Orcs just became more and more of a laughing joke, more of a comedy. And I really want Orcs to be dangerous again. I want orcs to be like the orcs of old in Heresy. You know, it's one reason I've just never really liked the range. I think they look stupid. I think they just look stupid and goofy. And you look at like the Red Gobbo and all that kind of stuff, and his hijinks, and I'm just like, yeah, it's very at odds with the the universe as I would like it to see it, kind of thing. But I suppose that's why Heresy exists. But yeah. So that's the battle boxes. They were pretty good. We did have a new Red Gobbo, but I'm not even going to bother looking at him. Let's move on to a couple of little things before we get into the GHAMAK situation. I want to look at one-page rules. Now, one-page rules have historically always been your rules are free online. You can sign up for the Patreon and you get loads of 3D SCLs that you can look at and stuff like that. And they've just recently moved to plastic. And this change is obviously quite big for them. So we'll have a quick look. And they've basically done like a plastic box set. Here it is, Broken Truth, with their quite similar to GW, but probably not quite similar enough to get sued. And we're going to talk more about that in a minute. Because I do kind of feel like some of these do. I mean, they're not like super close, but they're quite close. I was surprised by how much they got away with, especially when you look at something like GHAMAK, and I'm surprised that they didn't try and put the brakes on this Kickstarter. So here's your absolutely 100% not Necrons. Now, to be fair, these are less like Necrons than GHAMAKs. So these probably do just about go on the right side of what they can get away with. But you can see these are very much replicants of the unit types for GW, if not exact model copies. So here's your Leech Guard, here's your Immortals, here's your Warrior. Oh, sorry, there's probably two lots of Warriors there. You've got your Overlord and probably a Cryptek. That's obviously your Wraiths, I would think. Spider, Scarabs, and a Triarch Stalker. We can easily see what these things are. It doesn't...
what they are homages to.
What they are homages to, yes. You know, it doesn't... You're not putting them all over anybody's eyes. And these ones are obviously not lizardmen. Sci-fi lizardmen at all. But yeah, you get the full set. You get the terrain and everything for your games and all your tokens and what have you. It's all hard plastic, so no 3D printing required. So you get like this stuff on top of the base set for your extra money. So if we have a look at the choose rewards, so you can get it all digital if you want, but if you just want the starter box, 77 quid, it's not bad. So let's see if we've got any more pictures of that. You know, certainly placing themselves cheaper than GW. So this one you just don't get the big things, but you know, you've got like what, 25 models aside there. 77 quid. I'm just going to say you could do worse than that for a starter set.
Seems legit.
And obviously these are aimed more at people that want to done gaming rather than the modelling side of it. I'm not going to say the models are horrible or anything, but these are just more about people who just want to get stuff on the table and just want to play it, and they want to play a game like 40k without the crippling cost that 40k has, you know. Because even if you look at this collector's pledge and you look at everything you get in there, you get way more than you would for something like GW. You know, so many more models. We've just looked at a £150 box for GW, and it's like not many models at all. So, so yeah, this is an option. It's doing really well. It's doing really well as well. I think last time I checked, it had smashed its target. Absolutely smashed it. At $307,000. Oh, sorry, pounds.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
In real money. Nice.
Over $400,000. So it's doing really well. It'd be interesting to see what else they do in plastic. It's not for me purely on the basis that I'm about the models. And I don't go any other way than that, if you know what I mean. they're the most important part for me. The game comes a little bit later, if I'm being completely honest. But for people who just want to play the game, I mean, look in the background here. You've got like this is blatantly a Carnosaur, and that's blatantly a Slime Age priest on thingy, isn't it?
Flat.
So yeah, I'm not quite sure how they got away with that. But yeah, that's got like 10 days left in it if you want to back it, I suppose. We are not 10 days. We are not supported or sponsored by One Page Rules at all. I'd just like to mention as much as I can. And that also goes for Kings of War. Mantic have just announced the 4th edition of Kings of War, which is their rank and file game. I was about to say
that's their old school fantasy kind of
exactly.
replaced.
Yeah. I mean, you've got Conquest as well, which I want to do a Where Next to Conquer on eventually.
Where Next to Conquest.
Yeah, exactly. But this it's a fairly well regarded game. It's I like the way the Mantic do things. They remind me of GW a long time ago. I like Ronnie Renton. I used to work with him. I did think about working for Mantic. They're a little bit down the road from me in Hucknall, but not too bad. You've got a load of stuff there. Obviously, they're still on the hype train. They're still building it up. But if I remember correctly, you can pre-order it. Oh my God, so much stuff in that shop. What the hell? 4th edition. Jeez. There we go. So again, you look at 100 quid for a starter set. I don't add that to the basket. God. I don't add another one. Jesus. I just want to see the models. Here we go. God. No, end up like Liam. If you guys don't super chat, then I don't eat because I've just bought 2 copies of Kings of War. So yeah, this looks. Let's just shrink this down a little bit. This looks half decent to me. CHEBS. There we go. So you get like, yeah, this in your £100 starter set. I mean, that looks, yeah, there's a lot of stuff there. And their models have got a lot nicer too. Let's just see if I can get, here we go. Can we zoom in on this? Yes, there we go. So if you ignore the eyes, which at the end of the day are just down to the painter, and unfortunately the painter has done a great job on these, apart from the eyes. What they've done with the eyes is they've done that thing where there's just too much white showing around them, so they just look really startled.
Really starey, yeah.
Yeah, really scary. But yeah, I have no idea how the XP thing works either, Kevin. I've got a clue. Sorry, mate. I don't know. But I think these are really nice models. If you just take a... I can't look at the eyes. It's like, no, God. But yeah, I think these are like pretty decent models, to be honest. You know, for a starter set and what have you. I think they work quite nicely. Let's see what I've got. You got these sea lizard type dudes. And the thing is, Mantic used to have like pretty dodgy models. Like they were pretty rough, I've got to say. There's some old Mantic, like 1st edition, 2nd edition Kings of War models that are just like, whoa. Did you get the intern in to do these? But then new stuff, while I won't say necessarily that it is a match for what GW can do, it looks all right. Especially, again, if you're just more fussed about the game. You know, I don't necessarily see these turning up in like painting competitions and things, like Salute or whatever, but they're fine for what they are, for model pieces. You know, I don't see a lot wrong with them. So again, if you're not that fussed and you just want something cheaper than GW, which let's be honest is nearly anything now,
not difficult.
Then you know you could do worse than these. I think. What I did notice is a bit weird. Just bring up one of the pictures again. Is these bases they're on seem to be not split? Do you see that? So I don't know if you have to wipe out the entire unit to have any effect because you can't take off casualties.
Interesting.
Yeah, which was never a thing previously that I remember from Kings of War.
No.
So I don't know if the rules have changed that much. You know, but you've got Alessio Cavatori working on the rule set. You know, there's pedigree there, so you would just fully expect to get some decent. And yeah, that's coming up for pre-order soon, guys. I think you can order it now, like I've just ordered 2 copies. And
send food.
You get it at the end of November. I'll have to make sure I cancel those off later. Mantic, if you want to send me a preview copy to review or whatever, feel free. So let's get on to the last little bit of it.
You have to start eating shoes to get you through until November.
Yeah, innit? I can't have noodles because of the celiac disease, you see. So the cheap options for me just aren't really a thing. But let's have a look at the whole GHAMAK situation. So GW have basically unleashed their legal copyright law clause again.
Oh no! Wait! I know this one. This is the Jalak guy.
The what?
From Star Trek, isn't it? Where he does like the Galak and Jamal at Tanagra.
Galak and Jamal, is it?
Jamal now, yeah. I had to change the names to protect the innocent.
I'm questioning your Star Trek knowledge. I really am. But then, if I remember correctly, you watch crap like Discovery, so you know. I'm not saying you enjoy it. You watched it.
Yeah, well, I didn't want to drop Jalad in it. I think I'd change one name, so I've had to change the other one as well.
Shaka when the walls fell.
That's the one.
Yeah.
So Shaka.
They've come out against GHAMAK and they're basically suing the living shit out of him. They came with their normal cease and desist. And GHAMAK was like, well, I'll tell you what, like 30% of my range, I can see what you're talking about. I'll rename them or take them down or whatever I need to do. And GW turned around and went, no, we are going to fucking destroy you. And now none of his stuff's on the website. My manufacturer is the only place I could find it. His website is like full of 404s. Apparently he's got massive legal costs ahead of him and all that kind of stuff. But one of the interesting things is that what GW has done is they have done something a little bit different here. And rather than saying that his stuff is exact copies of theirs and that's why they're taking him down, they've got him under unfair competition.
Which is weird.
Now, I did see a source that said that it might be something to do with Italian law, because this is an Italian chap, and maybe that's the case. I'm certainly no, expert on Italians or law. I don't know, was that one girl? No. But yeah, the situation is that they've not gone their normal route, where they're just saying this is too close to our stuff, you need to get rid of it. They've literally gone, this is unfair competition. We're going to destroy you. We're going to sue you. We're going to make it so that you no longer exist, which is a very
heavy-handed,
sort of scorched earth philosophy, where you're like, well, if this guy can get taken down, there's other people who can definitely get taken down as well. So what I thought we'd do is we're going to have a look at a few GHAMAK sculpts, because there are certainly some instances here where I think he sailed like real close to the wind and was kind of asking for it, like in Red Dwarf, like I said earlier, Matt, it's like, putting your tackle in a lion's mouth and then flipping his love spuds with a wet towel,
Yeah.
He was kind of asking for it, with a few of these are really, really close. So we're just going to have a look at a few. Because, he's got some nice stuff here. And I do think that, if he was to unshackle himself from the IP of GW, he could probably turn out some really cool stuff. But there is definitely cause here for GW to say, oi, hang on. And I reckon a few other Patreon owners, like... not Soulforge. Oh God, what were they? I see their stuff all the time. But there's a couple of other Patreons that I think are going a little bit close and they might be a bit worried. So let's have a look. This is the Undying. Absolutely not Necrons. Now some of them I'm like, yeah, okay, not really close. That's not really looking anything like the Croissant. They're a little bit kind of Scorpec Destroyer-esque, but not massively, But then I pull up their Wraiths. Where's the Wraiths? Here they are.
Oh.
And I go, oh, yeah. Like, dude, that's too close. I'm in GW's court on this one. I really am. That is too close to GW's Wraith design.
That is a little bit of a hey teacher, Darmok is copying my homework.
Yes, yes. Yeah, and it's like I just I have some sympathy because obviously GW stuff is frequently out of stock and it's very expensive and all that kind of stuff. But you can't. With GW, they do have a responsibility to protect their IP because under UK IP law, if you're not seen to actively defend your IP, you lose it.
Yep.
And GW's case would be somebody could mistake these for the genuine thing, and they're an inferior product. And that's where GW would be coming from if it weren't for this unfair competition thing, which is a completely different angle, which is I'm hoping is just an Italian thing. But these are very close. These are very, very close, I think, Matt. I think these are too close. And some of the other stuff, there are design cues that have been carried over that are, again, probably too close. These are Immortals. These are probably okay. I would say there's probably enough variation there. There's not really much of a match there to Immortals. I would say these are generic enough that he's all right as long as you don't try and sell them with GW trademarks. Let's have a quick look at his. What did I see on here? Here it is. His Arc of Death. This one definitely sharing a few design cues. There's a bit different about it, don't get me wrong, but broadly the silhouette is quite similar.
Yeah.
Again, I mean, personally, I would say you'd probably get away with that one, but can't be 100% sure. These are the leash guard without the shields. Again, they don't look too bad. I think, if it was just a few bits like these, I think maybe the GW would let it pass. But the fact he's got a whole range, maybe he's just scuppering a little bit. There's the guys with shields. You can see those. I won't bring those up. Didn't they do like a swirling vortex type thing? Again, you could just say they're just generic Egyptian space robots, but there is other stuff here that he can't.
Generic Egyptian space robots.
Yeah, generic Egyptian space robots.
It's not very generic.
But
yeah, I know what you mean.
Let's have a look. Because obviously you can't use the Aquila or anything like that. That is going to get you into trouble straight away.
Yeah.
But then let's look at his vengeful tactical tank. I'm like, you've got a winged sword there, mate, and those headlamps are very, very similar to the 40k ones, and you've got a winged angel, and again, these can be argued to be generic enough, but the thing is, could you mistake this for being the Games Workshop version, be it from a distance or whatever? And there's enough design cues here that are shared.
How is that not a Rhino copy?
You know what I'm saying? Like the shape's the same. The turret is broadly similar. The bolter looks nearly exactly the same. It doesn't matter if it's a one-on-one copy. His stuff just, I do think some of it just sails a bit too close to the sun. Here's his Nathaniel, not Samuel, Nathaniel. At least got an updated version. And the other thing I will say is that these are, again, they're okay, but they're not like amazing sculpts, if you know what I mean. Like they're about the one-page rules level. But again, this is quite, it's pretty similar looking. You've got the winged helm, you've got the lion shield. I'm just saying, I don't want to be on GW's side. I don't want to be like, leave the multi-billion-dollar company alone. But sometimes you're like Icarus and you just sail a little bit too close to the sun and then you get hammered. I mean, look, that's obviously meant to be Belial or something. And again, I'm like, dude, there's a lot of design language, I suppose is the word. A lot of design language that you're using here that is very similar to what GW do, and I just don't think you can get away with that. I mean, I don't think you can get away with this model. I really don't. I think that's too close.
Yep.
So that's like his Vengeful Angels. I'm certainly no expert on the fantasy stuff, so I won't bother looking at that. What was the other thing I saw? Knights of Temple, Mars, Ancients. Was this the Eldar? So you got like a warp gate there. His models do have more boobs than GW's models, that's for sure. I mean, his version of Morgan Ra, it's more like Morgan Bra, you know.
Oh, damn.
She's got titties for days. But again, if we look at this one, I presume it's meant to be like Howling Banshees. Again, dude, I think you're getting too close there. Do you know what I mean? You've got the mesh armor with the plates. You've got these little bumps like the spirit stones.
I'm just watching the stream, and it's like there's like Morgan Ra with a massive rack and a Carandra's head.
Yes, yeah. My problem is the price is a bit high just for files. Yes, that too. He's not. I mean, he's made a lot of money out of this, which is the other reason why GW has just suddenly gone, you know, and the Eye of Sauron has just gone like, because he's making no small amount of bank on this, this work. And as I say, when it is, not always, but when it is often very derivative of what GW have done, you are going to be asking yourself for trouble, no matter how many tits you've put on it and no matter how sexy you've made the model. You know, that there is some stuff here that you're not going to get away with. And GW is just not something you're going to be able to provoke. I guarantee, however much GHAMAK might raise from any kind of what's the word, like GoFundMe or anything like that, GW have more to pay for lawyers, you know.
Oh yeah.
So he's just, you know, just a few bits here and there. I do just feel like he's just gone a little bit too close. These sisters are probably okay for the most part. They don't look too bad. Well, let's have a look. This is his generic Sister of Battle.
Pokes the bear a bit too much.
Again, you know, yeah, he's not using the fleur-de-lis. He's using this like kind of star thing. But the bolter, again, is pretty close. And, you know, we don't want to turn around and say, like, you know, GW have a claim to this. Nobody else can touch it. Because for a start, GW have ripped off more than their fair share of IPs over the years. You know,
oh yeah,
I'm not defending that in any way, and I'm not saying like, you know, nobody can do this stuff. But you have got to be careful. GW are a big company, and they have shown that they are more than willing to, you know, unleash the legal team and crush people. And yeah, again, if we have a look at this Martian Sandwalker, let's have a look. For a start, I don't see how that's walking anywhere, but, you know, again, there's quite a lot there that is similar. It's similar enough. And I think another one I was looking at was actually, while I think of it, his version of a hover tank, which would be here. Look at that, Matt.
That's not a D-Day landing craft for the Mechanicus at all.
You're watching the stream. You're behind. Watch what I'm streaming to you as it stopped.
I didn't know you were.
Okay, I was. Yeah, I've looked in Discord. This is too close.
Oh. Is that not a repulsor at all?
Do you see what I mean? It's even got like grav plates under it and everything like that. You just can't get away with this shit. And he's found that out the hard way. And it sucks because, as I say, he's not like completely without skill or anything, but he has jumped onto an IP that the owners of are particularly litigious, that word.
Litigious?
I'm glad you're struggling as well. Like this guy, for example, is almost exactly the same pose and makeup of one of the Nurgle dudes that came in Rogue Trader.
Yep.
And
I remember the guilty.
yeah, exactly. And Francesco A. Pizzol, I'm afraid that as much as you might have turned around to GW and said, look, I'll take this stuff down, which is that's one thing they have, by the looks of things, decided to make an example of you.
Yeah.
And that is unfortunate. That is unfortunate, and
Yeah.
I hope you don't.
Yeah. Plus, I think that's especially significant given that 3D printing isn't really going anywhere anytime soon. They're probably testing the waters with this case to see how much weight they can actually throw around and get away with.
Exactly. And it's unfortunate. I know. I hope you don't become destitute. I hope you don't become homeless and all that kind of stuff. And I hope you can get out of it. But at the same time, you've just got to be careful. And I do feel like a little bit like the people who were very quickly processed and jailed for naughty words and protests and things like that. I get the feeling you are being made an example of to put fear into other people. So that's pretty much where I stand on that one. I don't think these. I mean, the other thing I would say about GW is they're not very smart with this kind of thing as well, because they keep going after these makers, and GHAMAK is making quite a bit of money, and he's not the only one out there selling designs that are very close to GW's. But in addition, he is not the worst out there by any means. There's people out there straight up selling scans.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I signed up for a
like Colts 3D and stuff.
An Etsy seller, and they keep sending me emails every now and again. And they got taken off Etsy by GW, but they just made a website.
Yeah.
It's like Russian or something like that, so nobody can touch them. And they're selling straight up scans of your stuff, GW. Like straight up scans. Again, not cheap. I think you say Libertarian saying that the price is a bit high for the files. I mean, these files were not cheap, and no, I've not bought any. I don't need to. I've got plenty of Warhammer to paint already. If I print things, I tend to print add-ons and things like that, like bits for conversions.
I mean, these 3D scanners aren't cheap either.
No, not at all. But like, think about it. If you can get a Titan scanned, and then you can sell that Titan for £300, which is still £900 cheaper than what GW is selling it for, or even say £50, eventually that scanner is going to pay for itself pretty quick.
Yep.
And yet the USA Libertarian raises a good point here, because that's exactly what Trench Crusade did. So Trench Crusade did a scheme, 3 levels from what I remember. And I will be doing a Trench Crusade video at some point. I want to do like an update on it, because we're still waiting for our books, and we got another very upfront and transparent update on that, didn't we, Matt? Where basically they said, look, we got told we could use this nice UV look on the pages and it looked awesome, and then when they came to us, the proofs, they were all way too dark, so we've had to go back and rebalance all of it, and that's put it back again. So we might not even get it this year at this rate. But they're being upfront about it, and I know some people don't like Trench Crusade, but I quite like what they're doing, and I quite like their stuff. But what they're doing is with a Trench Crusade partnership, as it were. I think there was different levels, so you could make stuff that is broadly looking like Trench Crusade, and you don't get to mention their name, and Trench Crusade gets nothing out of it. Or you can be affiliated with Trench Crusade and say, like, this is an affiliation with Trench Crusade, and I think maybe they take a tiny cut or something. Or you can be a full partner of Trench Crusade, and they promote your stuff, and you're like a full partnership licensing. Trench Crusade takes their cut. But GW will never do this.
No.
GW would never do this, unfortunately. And the other companies out there, you don't see fake versions of Kings of War. You don't see knockoff versions of Infinity. At least I never have. It is only GW that tends to have this kind of level of I suppose piracy on one level, but on the other level, let's just use the word that Matt said, homages. You know,
Plagiarism.
you don't see it elsewhere. The only other place I would say you do see a very, very heavy 3D printing environment, and that's partly because it's been more or less encouraged by the holders, is Battletech. Hell of a lot of 3D printed Battletech out there. But other than that, not so much. I know Mantic was selling some STLs and like a digital version. You could get that. And obviously Trench Crusade have done that. And I've seen some great 3D companies making Trench Crusade style models. There's one guy who did like these kind of Viking type dudes. And they look great. Sons of Yngir, I think they were called, or something like that. And they were like Viking, Norse styled World War One fighters. And I was like, yeah, you know, like I'm all for this creation. I'm all for this creativity. And I don't see, you know, like a company made these models with their tits out and was like, you know, this is styled for Trench Crusade, and Trench Crusade aren't going like, oh no, you can't do this. You're bringing this into distribution and stuff like that. Do you know what I mean? You're seeing creativity. And it's really nice to see this. As far as Trench Crusade seems as wide as open, deep as a puddle, it's early days. All I will say is it's early days. If you read Rogue Trader, that is more or less kind of the same, especially with the lore. I mean, look at the first time that Horus Heresy was written about. It's a short story by Bill King, if I remember correctly. Give them time. I'm not going to say they haven't made some mistakes. I think they have made a few mistakes. And I've been quite
something natural, though, isn't it?
But you know, give them time, see what happens. Broadly, I like what they do, and I'm looking forward to getting stuck into my Trench Crusade stuff, especially after seeing Carl's painted stuff earlier. That all looked very nice, I thought. So that's kind of motivated me to get some done. But yeah, as far as GHAMAK goes, I think he. Yeah, I don't want to say asking for it, but he poked the bear, and the bear has decided to just go, yeah, fuck you.
He is going to need to get a bald starship captain to help him fight the rubbery green Games Workshop monster.
Endlessly with the Darmok. I mean, was that something that came to you straight away? Did you know?
Yeah.
Or have you been working? Just straight away, yeah.
No, it's just straight off, and now it's like a bone. I'm like, yeah.
Garmak's bone. Well, I mean, that's always an option for him, I suppose. You know, black out, stand on the street corner, make the sign.
As long as it's got Jamal with him, he'll be fine.
For when the dress falls. I mean, the wall falls. Yes, indeed. Yeah, so I guess that's about it, really, Matt. I don't think we've got too much more to say. And I am doing a video on 3D printing. I will briefly mention this kind of thing, especially as there should be an update on it by then. But I don't think we can say much more, especially until we know what's going on with this situation.
To be fair, I'm not sure anyone wants to hear me say anything more.
Got me curious. I think it's like a tester, like you say.
Yeah. So I'm not sure anyone wants to hear me say anything else about this situation. It's just going to be more Star Trek related nonsense.
Star Trek. I mean, at least it's a good Star Trek. Did you see the Did you see the trailer for Starfleet Academy?
I did not. I have no reason to watch it.
Oh God, it's bad. If you want to keep an eye on my other channel, Critic Al Reviews, I will have a video on that abysmal piece of entertainment very, very soon. I will also have some more videos for Grumpy Grognard coming real soon. So stay with us, and let's have a quick look at the.
It's like the trailer for Predator Badlands. They're views. No. Predator Badlands is coming out. Check the trailer, and I'm like, no, I'm all right.
There's a video coming out for that on my other channel as well. The Disneyfication of the Yautja. Because good God, it's bad. Good God, it's bad. Right. View your channel. Posts. So we are at 11 votes, and they all say, keep the old logo. It's awkward and old-fashioned, just like you guys. So far, we will be keeping the same logo. And the reason I mention that is, as I say, we are going to do a merch drop, some patches, some T-shirts or something, I don't know, something along those lines to celebrate hitting 1K.
Fine, but if it's going on a beanie hat, it's going to be silver on black.
Fair enough. And as Kevin says, the 2000 AD documentary Future Shock is free on YouTube at the moment. Hour 45 minutes. I suggest you check it out. It's very good. Nice. And just to give a quick plug to one of my YouTuber friends, I stream on his channel as a regular. Outcast Creative did a interview with Pat Mills, the legendary Pat Mills, comic artist and writer. And you may want to just check that out because it was a great interview, and it's on his channel, Outcast Creatives, under his creative interviews. He's done all sorts. He's done Frank Marshall, the director of not Frank Marshall.
Neil Marshall?
Neil Marshall, the director of Dog Soldiers.
Dog Soldiers and The Descent, and a bunch of Game of Thrones episodes.
He's had an interview with oh God, I'm struggling here. Famous
You're not very well.
Famous Hollywood lady, producer.
Gail Ann Hurd?
Thank you, Gail Ann Hurd. He's better at this than I am.
Guess what?
God, that's really good. Yeah, loads of different creators. Really good. Check him out. Charles Band was another good one. He's the guy who did all the direct-to-video canon stuff. It's like the Puppet Master series.
Right.
All that kind of thing. So yeah, good interviews. He's a writer and director himself. I'm actually going to see his play that he's doing about the making of the Magnificent Seven in London on Sunday. So that should be good.
Oh, okay.
I'll be venturing down to London. And hopefully venturing back as well. And yeah, till then, we will catch you next time, guys. And yeah, stay grognard, I guess. Bye.
Cheerio.